Hey there guys, Caster here, aka JediBro95 here, coming at you with another video. And in this one, I'm going to be talking about abilities. My apologies, I had a little bit of a burp there. Um, in this video, I want to go over some of my favorite abilities on offense and defense for positions. You know, what I think are good abilities that you can run, some abilities that I don't think are very good, some that can be used in the right situations, you know, whatever. Just run down these abilities. So yeah, if you do like this type of content, be sure to like the video if you guys did, and subscribe if you guys are new. That would be delicious. I'm just kidding. That would be nice. So for quarterbacks, um, obviously, you know, there's a few abilities. Obviously, threat detector, amazing. 3 AP might be a bit much though. I think it was perfect at 2 AP. I feel like threat detector for 2 AP was fine. 1 AP is obviously OP. So yeah, 2 AP definitely worth it. 1 AP, the 2 AP, 3 AP, not so much. I mean, um, long range red zone. I have a problem with the Deadeyes, and it's not to say that they're bad. Far from it. What, like, why do we need an ability to make us have perfect pass accuracy in certain situations? Like, let's look at this for example, okay? If I have a 99 mid accuracy or a 99 deep, I should be 100% accurate all the time when it comes to those type of throws. The same can go with throw on the run. I should be, you know, I have a 99 throw on the run. I should be, like, I should never miss a throw on the run. I should not need to put on dashing Deadeye to grant myself perfect pass accuracy. Okay? Like, I don't understand that. Why do I need to have Deadeyes to make myself perfect in passing situations? Okay? Now, this is not to be confused with something like Fearless. Okay? Fearless is... These ones are fine because, you know, some people, when they do sense pressure, when they're scrambling or they're in the pocket, sometimes they will start to feel the pressure and they'll start to, you know, get a little antsy and throw the ball inaccurately. All right, that I'm cool with. But red zone Deadeye, long range, dashing, what's another one? Roaming, inside Deadeye, pocket Deadeye. I don't think they should be in the game. I think those should be taken out for next year. Personally, I'll touch on that more in my Madden wishlist video, but they should be taken out of the game. There's like, again, if I got like a 90 something plus deep accuracy, why can't I just be perfect with my deep throws consistently? Why do I have to have a Deadeye to help me with that? It just doesn't make any sense for me. Same with no look Deadeye. Like, there's just no, like, this should be counted as throw on the run. If I got like a very high throw on the run, you know, for no look Deadeye, obviously, you know, there should be a little bit of a limit. Don't get me wrong, to what's like pushing the boundaries of like realistic and absolute bullshit. But yeah, these Deadeyes, they gotta go next year. But I can also see the same counter, like, well, if you just get rid of the Deadeyes, then you're gonna have people throwing, like, dashing to the right and throwing 60-yard run throws on the run all the time. And then at that point, it's on EA to adjust the throw on the run, or to adjust the accuracy of throwing on the run. As a quarterback, you shouldn't be, like, able to rip, like, you shouldn't need an ability to make yourself good at throwing the ball, or specific balls. But anyways, QB Playmaker, good. It's really good. I'm not used it myself, but I do like QB Playmaker. I think it is very good. I've heard a lot of good things. Gunslinger, 3 AP. Kind of wish it was only 2 or 1 AP for improvisers. For strong arms and field generals, it's 2 AP, so kind of makes sense. But I was hoping that this would not be 3 AP for improvisers. Scramblers can be for 3 AP. Gutsy Scrambler, it's fine. You know, there are better abilities. And as I said in my theme team video update, unless this comes up before then, this ability I only have equipped temporarily until I actually fully figure out what I want to do with the last 2 ability points I have. Maybe I might put Matchup Nightmare on what's his name, on Ozzy Newsome. Maybe I might do a post up and a bulldozer. Maybe I might do a red zone threat. I don't know what I want to do with the last 2 ability points yet. I truly don't know. So that's why I have this set up the way it is. Anyways, quick draw, faster throw animations with throwing under pressure. It's fine. These are fine. These are good. Whatever. Identifier is a great ability, but I wouldn't put it on quarterbacks. I'll touch on that why later. Now these reduced zone objectives like clutch, homer, indoor baller. I can't remember what the other ones are. Closer. Take them out of the game. They serve no purpose. Nobody uses these, and to be completely honest, I've never met anybody outside of franchise players who use these abilities in MUT. So get rid of these. Same with gift wrapped and safety valve. Get rid of them. Like they're not good. They're just not very good at all. Hot route master. It's great if you hot route a lot. I'm not a hot router. I don't really like to hot route like that. So don't get me wrong. If I really feel like I can get away with it, like I see a really big hole in the defense, I might hot route a streak or a slant, or if I desperately need someone to pick up big yards, I'll reroute to where I have, like, say, Braylon Edwards going in on a deep streak pattern. But usually I'm not really into stuff like that. So anyways, that's it for quarterback abilities. Moving on to backs. To me, these are more dependent on the back than the back archetype than the traditional, like, for quarterbacks or even receivers. Because for backs, obviously their best abilities are, like, for the power back, like bulldozer, reach for it, which is another ability I might put on. Arm bar, bruiser. These abilities are, these are good abilities for a power back. I wouldn't say they're good for an evasive back or an elusive back, because you got things like jukebox. What was the other one? Spin cycle. Evasive is another one. It depends on the back. Human joystick for 8 AP, that's not worth it. 8 AP for this bat for human joy for quick returning and change of direction. It's not worth it. Now tank, I'm not heard much of. Balance beam, yeah, it can be good. Can be good. Can be bad. Backfield mismatch. It's good if you have a quarterback with hot route master. If you don't, obviously you want to get somebody with backfield master. So that way they can get the hot routes and get the better catching as well. But other than that, again, it all really just depends on the back. For wide receivers, the elite route runners, like the elite, the mid, the deep, and the short route elite, it just depends on the receiver also. Like deep threats, obviously you're going to want to have things like deep in elite, deep out elite, like I do on my Braylon Edwards. But obviously when you're in a game, obviously you want to make sure you're putting these cards in that situation to where they're catching a deep in or a deep out elite. These abilities are really good. Even with the mids and the short elites, those are all really good. Obviously make sure that you're putting those receivers in that position. Grab and go, it's a mini human joystick, 2 AP. That's I don't know. I don't know about that. Return Man is not very good. Return Man to me is not very good. I don't know why people are. I've seen some people that are enamored by it. I don't see the appeal to me. Slot-o-matic, it's good, but obviously not for 4 AP. For 2 AP on slot receivers, like I have on my Golden Tate, it's fine. It works. But you're probably better off doing a short in or short out elite with it instead. Probably. But even then, it also gets the added benefit of having a route technician engraved into it, because for for this ability, you get better cuts and catching on all short routes. So like route technician, you get quicker cutting on while running routes, and with Slot-O-Matic, you can get a similar effect. I've seen it light up on cuts with Golden Tate on his short routes, and even on some mid and deep routes too. Like I have some plays where he's actually doing a deep post pattern from the slot, and it actually activates then. So kind of buggy. It's kind of bugged a little bit, but it's not terrible. Route technician, it's not worth 4 AP. 3 AP depends on the receiver. Then it could be depending on your scheme. 3 AP might be worth it. 4, it's not worth it. I would rather not. I would rather just have the elites and just go from there. Red zone threat, it's good. I think this is better for tight ends. Obviously, bigger tight ends like say Jimmy Graham or tight ends that are like 6'4" and above, because obviously you'll get their improved catching, and you also be able to have them jump over corners and catch the ball. So it does help. This can be very helpful. Apprentices, much like for the backs, good if you have a player with Hot Route Master. Good if you don't have a player with Hot Route Master, but if you don't, it's not worth it. Just don't get it. Simple as that to me. Second wind is awful. Recuperation might actually start to be more effective and more noticed as an ability, because with people starting to use now Deflator and what's the other one? Enforcer. Yeah, it's gonna make your players tired faster, and you're gonna be able to get that stamina back quicker, so that way you save yourself some AP. You save yourself some stamina, so that way you're less likely to fumble. Now, one other ability for wide receivers I want to touch on is Matchup Nightmare. I would put this one specifically on physical wideouts. No other players except physical wideouts. The reason for this is because it's 1 AP for physical wide receivers. Every other type of receiver, whether it's deep threat, route runner, slot, vertical threat, or possession tight ends even, it's 2 AP. But for 1 AP, you get better route running and better catching versus linebackers. And it's kind of bugged as well, like Slot-O-Matic, because it works basically every single time. Like I've seen consistently, DK, for example, DK Metcalf, he gets open even on a post pattern. He gets open and it activates, and then he gets, he gets good catch animation. Like, again, I don't know if it's bugged. Maybe this is by design. Maybe they want this to be on wide receivers with physical archetype. But, yeah, physical wideouts definitely get this one on your physicals. Now, moving to the offensive line, absolutely 100% on all your tackles needs to be edge protector, without a question. Right now, I used to not see the appeal of it, I'm not going to lie. But with people starting to move away from double or nothing and moving towards edge threat, this is a perfect counter to edge threat. 1 AP, you stop, you can counter edge threat. And it's almost unfair when you really think about it. It's kind of unfair because, an ability like edge threat for 3 AP can easily be stopped by a 1 AP ability. But at the same time, though, edge threat is really good, so I would still have this ability on. Just be careful with it, because sometimes it doesn't work. I mentioned in my Seahawks team update, I was playing a game last night, and there was a guy with a Cameron Jordan with no edge threat, and he just kept dominating my Jonathan Ogden, and I was getting so pissed off and frustrated, because I'm like, how the hell does he not have edge threat, and yet this is just not working? So, I don't know. Like, I wish I could tell you what it was. Maybe it is just because you have to specifically use this to counter edge threat, otherwise it's just a dead ability. Maybe. I don't know. But that's what it is with this. On both your tackles. Now, moving over to the center position, specifically continuing on with the lineman, identifier. This is why I say don't put it on your quarterbacks, because you can get identifier for 1 AP on your lineman, and it's just so much more better. Pointing out the user, It's really easy because if I'm calling a run play, because I know a lot of users just want to shoot the gap, right? They just want to shoot the gap, get the hit stick, and get a tackle for loss or force a fumble. What I like to do is I see who you're usering, and I ID the mic and call out that user, and have him get blocked. So now his user is basically ineffective against the run because he's getting blocked every single time I call a run play. So that's what I like to do with Identifier, and even with Identifier on passing plays, or in just Identifier in general, it's so clear what they're doing when they're using Identifier. If they're playing as like one of their middle linebackers or their sub linebackers, they don't want you to throw over the middle. If they're playing as a deep safety, they don't want you to beat them over the top. And if they're playing as a D lineman, they're fucking trash. So that's why I have Identifier on this team. So worth it to spend the 1 AP. It's tremendous for 1 AP. I absolutely love this ability. Okay, one other ability. I forgot to showcase this. I kind of blanked out. I would only rock this on one, and it's post up. I would only do one of these. I would not do more than one, because at most people will rush, unless it's a blitz, unless it's just a full out blitz. Most of the time, people rush about 5 max. More than likely, it's about 3. More than likely, it's about 4. Most commonly, it's about 4. So you can get one double team block in. You can get one double team in. Maybe you want to double team that annoying edge threat that's consistently going by and has got his D-line X factor active. You know, maybe you want to double team that dude that has, inside stuff or no outsider, so that way you can get the ball out and not have him tackle you for loss. Other than that, this ability, I just have the one. Don't have like more than that, because if they send more than 4, then you're definitely not going to be able to benefit from this. And then if it's an all-out blitz, you just got to get the ball out quick. Otherwise, you're going to get fucked in the ass. So, yeah, just be mindful of that. So anyways, that is going to be it for offense. I'm not going over the tight end ones because I kind of basically did with the receivers. I kind of went over them. Moving on to the defense, in my opinion, the best defensive ability, flat out, is mid-zone KO. Flat out, the best defensive ability in this game right now is mid-zone KO. Other than maybe, like, say, what is it called? Where the is it? Oh yeah, Enforcer and Deflator. Those are my two. Those are the better abilities. But in terms of other abilities, like the route KOs, they got nerfed, so I don't know if they're really valuable anymore. Tackle Supreme and Secure Tackler, don't use them. I've gotten rid of those abilities. I used to use those abilities, and I've gotten rid of them, and I really don't notice a difference when it comes to tackling. Stonewall, I don't see it work. I don't see it work now because I think they got rid of the... Because I remember they did an update to where you could only get extra yards if you had reach for it. But then I think they took that away, so now reach for it is basically obsolete. And then this makes this ability obsolete. So, yeah. Outmatched, I'm not really into this one. Tip Drill's not good. Chuck Out, I'm scared that this could be a meta ability later on in the year. Flat Zone KO, not as good as mid. Acrobat, like, it's good. But 3 or 2 AP could be too much for me. It could be. Run Stopper, really good. Get free sheds on run plays. Always nice to have. Yeah, it's not quicker sheds, but it's free sheds, and it's good. It's really good. I do like it. Goal line stuff. So here's the thing with these stuffs, like goal line, inside, and no outsiders. They are really hit and miss. Like, I had inside stuff, okay? I did have inside stuff on my Sheldon Richardson before I sold him, okay? I had inside stuff. But it never was consistent with its activation. Sometimes it would activate, sometimes it wouldn't. And I don't know why. Like, I I don't know. Is it a bug? I don't know. I genuinely do not know. We had deep in and deep out zone KO. Not really good. You know, not as effective as mid zone KO. If mid zone KO wasn't so important, wasn't so OP, I probably would. I would definitely have deep in and deep out zone KO on my safeties. I absolutely would, and maybe have mid zone KO on deep zone KO on my starting 2 corners, because I play a lot of cover 3. I love the cover 4. Yeah, I play a lot of cover 3 and cover 4, so I might have deep in and deep out zone KO on them, or at least 2 on my starting, like maybe 1 on my starting corner and stuff like that. But even then, I think the deep in and the deep out zone KO should be 1 AP on zone corners, and zone safeties. I think all the zone KO should be 1 on each of them. And then for run support safeties, or even anything that's not that, I think it should be 2. But hey, pick artist is incredibly underrated. I saw somebody yesterday get a nice pick with this ability, and I kind of was like, yeah, this is really good. This is a really dominant ability. Lurker, kind of hit or miss. Obviously, if you're really good at lurking passes, this is a big ability for you. But I myself am not. I try, but I'm not that good yet. So, that kind of depends on what you're feeling. Like, do you want to waste 4 AP to try and get better as a user, or do you want to start with just use pick artist? I would personally rather just use the pick artist. One step ahead, finally has been nerfed. Fuck you and everybody that abused this. Just fuck you. Just flat out, fuck you. Anyways, don't even want to talk about that ability, because I hate it. I think that's it for defense, honestly. I think I covered all of them, because most of the defensive abilities are all the same. Oh yeah, edge threat. This is probably the way to go now. I wouldn't go with double or nothing anymore, because it now went up to 4 AP, which I'm glad they did go up to 4 AP, because that ability was insane. Now, if you do want to use double or nothing, if you do, I would go 1 max. Would not go any more than 1. Same with edge threat. I would not go any more than 1 edge threat. I would have, for me, I just have edge threat on my Frank Clark, and then everybody else is a run stopper on the line of scrimmage. So, that way I have at least somebody to pressure the quarterback. And granted, guys like John Randall and Laurie Glover and even JJ get there, but he's my primary edge threat. Just flat out. So I think that's really it for the defensive abilities that I think are good and not so good. Did I miss any? I think, film study. Don't really know much about it. I would have to see somebody actually use it in a game, or I might have to use it in a game to actually give an accurate depiction on how good the ability is. But it does look like a good ability on the surface, being able to see what play the person's running after they call it so many times. Now, how many times do the player have to call it before you get to see the play? Like, how many times does the player call it before you can see it? That's a tricky one, because if it's 2 or 3, might be worth it. Might be worth the 7 AP. But if it's 5 or 6, yeah, no, it's not. But even then, 2 AP and 2 of them, I wouldn't even go about it. Kickers. We all know what the best kicking ability is. Moving on. I think that's actually it. Yeah, that's it. Those are my opinions on the abilities, what I think are good. Especially after this AP update, which I don't think are very good. Yeah, if you have anything to say about this, let me know in the comment section below. Subscribe if you guys are new. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.